Hello, I'm Bryan Reeves, and I've got my homies G Money and Martin and Watima with the silly bird on his head backing me up. And today I'm going to be sharing with you a process that I call creating your life theme mantra for this year. It's New Year's time, and every year at this time people are thinking about their New Year's resolutions, which is really about showing up as a better version of you. But aren't we over that silliness already? I mean, I know you want to live the best version of you, but living the best you is about so much more than just quitting smoking or exercising more or calling your mother more, which you should absolutely do. You're welcome, Mom. But I want to help you create a life theme mantra for this year. And a life theme is basically your personal mantra. It's like a phrase or a sentence, a guiding philosophy that will help you throughout the year to consistently live the best version of you in every aspect of your life. Doesn't that sound awesome? It is. Think of it like a subtitle to your name. Like if you're writing a book about this year and your name is the title, well, your life theme mantra would be the subtitle. So here are some examples from friends that I did this with recently. Stefan, no status quo. Dana, come on out. Sophie, trust big, play big. So you can get an idea of how these little phrases might flavor someone's experience over the coming year, and across all areas of their life, they can help them to show up in a big way for themselves. But I'll tell you a little story about my personal life mantra for the past year, and then I'll guide you through a little process so you can discover your own. And you'll get to see why this matters, how it's important, and why it makes a difference. Cool. So my personal life theme mantra for last year was go big or go homeless. You see, 1 year ago, I hit a bottom in my life. 7 years previous to that, I had been making a lot of money working a really exciting job. But then I got the call of adventure and I basically ran away with the circus. And that circus was a spiritual music band. I started managing these amazing music artists and I went on tour all over North America, and I had a genuinely magical adventure for a few years. But 6 years after giving up my $10,000 a month paycheck to chase the dream of musical stardom, and after blowing through tens of thousands of dollars in my savings, the band broke up. I was close to broke, I was couch surfing in Los Angeles, and I was pretty much completely unsure of what to do with myself. I was doing a lot of basically charity work for other artists, and I wasn't really making any consistent money. I was genuinely mortified of losing the last bit of my money and being legitimately homeless. Like I could see it from where I was. I couch surfed for about 2 years trying to figure out what to do with my life, and when I finally rented a room somewhere, I moved in with my air mattress, which I'd been on for 2 years, and no furniture, and frankly, I was embarrassed about where I was living. But I was so desperate, holding on to the little money that I had left, and I knew I needed to be in LA even if I didn't know why, but I felt like a starving man holding on to a little bit of a crust of bread, but at least I was living on the doorstep of a bread factory. Still, I was hungry. So there I was, living in a small house with 4 other people. My refrigerator was in the backyard. The walls of my tiny bedroom were all scratched up. And rather than design a plan to get myself out of there and into a better living situation, I basically scrounged around the house looking for paint so that I could paint the walls and make myself feel a little bit better in my misery. And the only paint that I could find was this color that I call putrefying salmon. So I painted my walls this putrefying salmon color and basically, made myself comfortable in my miserable situation, which is so delightfully human of me. But I was playing small. And I couldn't really see how small I was playing until one day I had a hot date. And she insisted on seeing where I lived. Well, with a heavy heart, I invited her into my home. And as she was staring bewildered at my air mattress on the floor, I really got present to my low standards. Tony Robbins says that if you want to raise the quality of your life, you must raise your standards. And in that moment, I realized that not only do I not have high standards for my life, I actually had no standards, at least not for my living situation. So the next day, my life theme for the year popped into my head: go big or go homeless. I knew I needed to raise my game. With that life theme, that mantra coursing through my head, I immediately started to play a bigger game, and it made all the difference in my life over the year. As a result of that mantra, I immediately went out and I rented a cabin in the mountains for 30 days. I wrote my first book. I started investing the last bit of money that I had in seminars and workshops and experiences where I knew that I would be surrounded by people playing a big game like I wanted to play. And now I have beautiful new friendships, and I have new tools, and I'm doing new work, all because of that mantra. In fact, I made more money this year than I made in 6 years managing music artists. All because as I went through the year, I kept thinking, go big or go homeless. Every decision that I was faced with, every time I came up, especially when I dealt with money, I knew that if it was an investment in my future, in my career, in my life, that I had permission to spend that money even at the risk of going homeless. Like, I knew that if, as long as I was playing a big game, if I went homeless, that was fine. I was playing a big game. So that mantra for me this past year made a huge difference. My life is totally different because of it. Now this year, I'm over that mantra. It served its purpose, and now I have a new one. And this year, my life theme is Bryan Reeves, my year of mastery. That's pretty hot. I want to master certain subjects that excite me. When this year's over, I want to have mastered these certain subjects and topics and experiences so that I can make immense contribution back to my community and probably make a lot more money and just have a thrilling life, being of service in areas that I'm excited about and passionate about, and that can make a difference, not just for me, but my loved ones, my friends, and my community. So that's the value of having a life theme mantra. And at this point, year by year. And you might find that you have a life theme that lasts you forever, or it might just serve you for a few months. I've prepared a short little process to help you reveal what your life theme mantra should be for this year. What is life calling from you? So you can do this alone or do it with friends, using discussion, sharing, laughter to make the process fun. But regardless, this life theme process can completely change the course of your life if you go for it. So let's go for it. I know you want to go for it. Okay, I'm going to present you with a few questions, and you can pause this video, have a notepad, take notes, or just watch it all the way through, and I'm going to put these questions also in the notes of this video down below, so you can do it either way, whatever works for you. So here's the first question. Think about what themes, what adventures, what explorations and subjects, etc., what does life seem to be challenging you to take on right now? A part two to this question is, think about, is there somewhere in your life, maybe in the past few months or this past year, where you were playing small, where you maybe were not living up to your full potential, and where the cost of that clearly hurts you or the people around you? You're looking for that area of life that is your edge, the edge of your truth. What is life calling forth from you? Whether it's an expansion of something you're already doing really well and you just want to step deeper into the expression of that, or if it's somewhere that you've been hiding, that you know life is calling you to step deeper into the embodiment of your potential. And here's part three. Think of some key words as if you were going to Google, like, how to master this, or how to be this, or how to do this, whatever this thing that life is calling forth from you. What is the language? Think of some words that would capture that. Okay, you can pause this or keep going. So now we're going to play with language. For the first part of playing with language, I want you to find some inspirational quotes that support this dominant theme that's calling you this year, and add them to a journal or write them in the notepad. You may even find inspiration in these quotes for languaging your theme, but I guarantee you somebody in the history of time has said something really awesome about what life is calling forth from you. Now, the second part of this playing with language is to actually play with the language. The intention for this life theme is to capture the challenge that life is calling you in a way that's exciting, that's inspiring, playful, and clear. And ultimately you'll know you have it because when you say it, you'll just light up. You'll just feel good inside. I mean, when I said my mantra, go big or go homeless, like it gave me permission to play big for myself, and it gave me even the fear that I had of going homeless and running out of money. I mean, it turned it into a game, and it even made that okay if that were to happen, but only because I knew what the game I was really playing. And naturally, that never even happened, right? I was living a big version of myself and showing up in a different way. You know, think about some of the life mantra themes that my friends just came up with. Dana, come on out. It's just 3 words, and it gives her permission to show up in her life, maybe in ways that she has never showed up before. My other friend, play big, trust big. You can see how just 4 simple words in every situation, whether professional or relationships, like it gives her a guiding theme of being. These things don't have to be complicated. You really want this to be simple, to be fun, to be playful, and in your keywords and in the quotes and in the language that you've been working with, you may have a lot of big words, flowery and colorful, and that's great. There may be themes around relationship and other areas that you're being called to a bigger experience for yourself. But what you really want to do is, what is that thing underneath? What is that thread that runs through all of that? What is that way of being, right? Like, who would you have to be in order to manifest these other experiences that you want to have? Whether you want to be traveling, whether you want to live in a better home, whether you want to have a great relationship or make more money, whatever that is, who is that person that you need to be in order for those things to come forward? And that's where you'll find your life theme for the year. Go big or go homeless meant I was someone that played a big game, right? Everywhere in my life. My friend Stefan, no status quo, right? That gives him permission to just completely play with the circumstances of his life in order to create new experiences everywhere that thrill him and excite him. Simple, simple, simple. You're looking for a simple phrase or sentence that will light you up and feel good and propel you throughout the next year to show up as the best version of yourself. Now here's the last part. Write a short blog or a journal about your life theme. This is where you really step into owning this life theme and really feeling it, really bringing it into your being. Why did you choose this as your life theme? Like, what is happening in your life today that makes this theme meaningful? And also, what is likely to happen if you don't meet this challenge this year? Right? What is the cost of not living up to being this person that this life theme is calling you to be? What is the cost? Really get clear. What is life likely going to look like if you don't meet this? Well, I can tell you, for me, life, if I didn't play a big game this past year, I probably would have gone homeless. I certainly wouldn't have made some of the amazing new friendships that I have. I definitely would have run out of my money. I would have lived in the same crappy place I was in, and probably would have had to move into worse. Or worse, I would have had to move in with my parents. Really get clear about the cost of not living up to this theme and write about it. And the last part of the writing is really let your imagination fly. What could happen if you do? Just imagine what is possible if you really own and walk this theme this year. Just imagine the world of possibilities that could open up for you. So that's the last part. And finally, put your theme on paper, stick it on the rearview mirror of your car, put it on the ceiling over your bed, tattoo it on your lover's forehead, whatever you need to do. Definitely shout it out on Facebook, let people know how you're gonna play your life this year. Please share this video with friends, put it on Facebook. Can you imagine what the world would be like if each one of us were walking with a guiding theme about being our best selves this year? How awesome would that be? Especially even if all your friends had their life themes and they were just rocking it this year because they were playing the game that life was calling them to play in a big way. So that's it. Please leave a comment. Let me know how this served you. If you have any questions, I will certainly see the comments. My website is thiswildwakingjourney.com. Please sign up. I'm Bryan Reeves. G-Money, Martin, Watama, we all love you. Say thank you. Peace. Have fun this year.